My name is Larry Gillingham, Larry Joe. I'm 78 years old and I live in Carrollton, Illinois by choice. I went to high school here. I went to the University of Illinois. I went to Washington University in graduate school. I spent a year in the office of the mayor of St. Louis after graduate school. And then I spent 10 years at Monsanto Company. But the whole time I wanted to come back home. And so Dad and I bought a little farm, and he had a petroleum business here. So I came back in '76 and have been here ever since. Enjoyed around here. This is home, and I'm comfortable here. We're sitting in the Greene County Historical and Genealogical Society in a portion of the museum. There's just not enough room for everything that comes in here. There's a lot of documents, there's a lot of books, a lot of photographs, but there's also really nice artifacts here. And people are so generous. You know, this is a place to keep them. When they bring them here, they want them kept. They want them preserved, but they also want them displayed. And so it's just a treasure house. This covers not only the city of Carrollton, but the other cities and surrounding areas: Whitehall, Root House, Kane, Jalapa, Martins Prairie, just the townships and the county. And they all have really good history, really good people. They've all made great contributions, and this is where it's at. If you want to find out, come to the Historical Society. It's important to understand our past because it really defines who we are. The parameters of our being are here. And we are an agrarian community here. We're an agrarian county. We have lost population. I think the population of the county peaked about in the 1890s, early 1900s. There were lots of small artisans and craftsmen and manufacturing that was done in Greene County. There were orchards that were put in, railroads came in. There were lots of jobs. And as I think during the World War I, there was also stability in population because there was work here to do. And then after the war, after the Second World War, the young people began to go to college. They began to look away from their home and look to the urban areas. They wanted an education, they wanted to go out and do other things. And so now, from a population of probably 22,000 maybe in the early 1900s, we're probably just a little under 13,000. There was a lot of artisan manufacturers here. There was a stove company here. There's stoves in this building that were made here in Carrollton. There was 2 cigar factories here. The first cigar that was made here by Joe Clark is upstairs, you know. It would be pretty strong if you used it today, but that's what I see as the artisanship. Now, there were smaller manufacturers here that had very specialized products, but they didn't survive. They were either not bought out or they didn't expand their markets. Then for a while it works, but then after a while it's mass production. And that's a different story. We're not mass producers, except for agriculture. And we have a good agricultural base here in the county. It's fun. You feel like you have discovered something that you can improve upon and pass on. Make it for other generations to use too. And that's really, there's just so much of that here. And when you do something like this, you meet lots of people who are descendants of many of those other people, and it puts it in perspective. You put them on a pedestal. You put Henry T. Rainey on a pedestal. He was Speaker of the House of Representatives, and yet he was very ordinary. And ordinary is good. And that's the thing about, I think, the values here. Hopefully, there's, you know, we all have our egos, but still, the ordinary is good. And the ordinary and traditional values, I still feel like there's quite a few here, quite a few of that here, the original families. And a lot of people, when they go off, like I did, but they stay longer, they have a nice career, but they come back. this is where they want to be. It is important to remember because it gives you a peace. My dad lived to be 99, my mother 97. I miss them every day, but I'm not sad about their life because I understand that they had a good life and they lived it the way they wanted to. They're role models. I want to be that way too. You know, I don't want to feel sorry for myself or anybody to feel sorry for me. I think you can live your life in an area like that and enjoy it. Make the most out of it. And we're close enough to do the things that, you know, urbanites can do. But maybe we don't want to share, you know, so much of our culture here, although, excuse me, I think anybody would really, really enjoy it. That's it. It's a good life. It's, you know,